Now, if you watch this video from the beginning to the end, I'm going to show you the simplest trading strategy that you're going to come across that's going to allow you to make, $250, $500, $1,000 a day, depending on how much capital that you actually have and what your goal is set out to as far as how much you want to make on a daily basis. Now, for me, if I can get 20 points on the NASDAQ futures, which is basically 80 ticks because it's 4 ticks in every point, I'm pretty much satisfied and done for the day. But again, it depends on how much capital, how many contracts you're trading on that particular instrument or contract. All right. So, this is how I go about making money 5 days a week. And it's very simple strategy, just using multi-chart confluence. I've covered this strategy a million times. But if you're someone that's a newbie or a beginner, first time viewing one of the videos here on the YouTube channel, you're going to want to watch this from beginning to end because I'm going to show you just a couple quick setups covering as far as examples of what to really look for. Now, the number one thing, I'm going to say this right now, that you're going to need to really master, like most people say, hey, there's one ingredient to every major recipe, all right? So when it comes to being able to trade the correct way and you want to be consistent and profitable, you're going to need to master one thing in particular, and that is going to be market structure. It just makes sense. Think about it. You're going to have to be able to understand or learn which way to trade. You don't want to be trading against a moving trade. So if the market is moving to the upside, then you should only be looking for longs. If the market's moving to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs, breaking structure, then you should only be looking for short opportunities. I've said this a million times, and I know I keep reiterating things because this type of stuff helps. But I also like to go over the actual session that we're actually trading in, and today being April the actual 14th. I like to just take a brief look at things. Now, today wasn't as volatile as we've seen surrounding the last few weeks in the market. So, but I do want to say this: we did have this gap in the market where it filled today, right here at the opening of yesterday's trading session, yesterday evening, April the 13th. The market pushed up. We got this gap here, and the market came down and filled that gap today. That's pretty much what you're going to see when the market makes a gap at the opening of one session to the next, and somewhere in the session that the market is going to want to come down and fill that area. All right, it has to, pretty much. I'm not saying it's always going to fill it in the same session, but more than 90% of the time it's going to do that. So anyways, let's talk about today's trading session right quick. We had the high at the opening, right? The market pulls back. It makes a new high right here, breaking or slightly breaking above these highs with the wick of this candle right here, right? Then we start making these lower lows and lower highs to the downside, okay? So when the market is breaking structure to the downside, we should only be looking for what? Opportunities to go short, correct? So we filled the gap coming back down. We broke structure. We went from being, bullish back to bearish. And now roughly around about 12:15, 12:20, we started with these swings to the upside. Highs, higher low, highs, higher low. Right now, right here, making a new high going to the upside. And we're taking out, some structure to the upside. So this is a sign of a reversal. We don't know 100% what the market's going to fully do. Is it going to go up here and take out this major area, which is a major high? Or will it come down here and take out this major low right here? So we're kind of, there's a high, there's a low here. You can see it for today's trading session. So right now, we are approaching a supply area resting right here. To me, this would be kind of counter trend, being that now that the market direction is bullish back to the upside and a small channel back to the upside here. So yes, this is a high probability setup, and it could definitely work out for a scalp for sure. But just be mindful, okay, if you do take this trade. Is it something I'd be interested in? Definitely so. But if you're a beginner trader, I don't recommend trading counter trend against the overall direction right now, which is, bullish. We got a high, higher low, higher high. So we made this reversal pattern here going back to the upside. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, the strategy which I'm going to show you right quick is just using 2 charts pretty much, okay? Or you can use 3. Trading is all about, especially the strategy and how I trade, is all about finding multiple means of confluence. The more confluence you have on your side, whether it is from 2 charts, 3 charts, a half and round number levels, the better and the better the trade is going to work out for you. Okay, the more or the trade's going to work out. Okay. So if you see what's going on here, this is from April the 10th. We were making these these lower lows and lower highs to the downside, breaking structure, right? What do you see here? We see a landslide, right? We see where the market is making lows, lower highs, lows, lower highs. You should be able to depict this with your eyes to quickly determine which way to trade. Now, the market, there was a low right here that it made, right? It pulls back. It breaks that major low right here, okay? Coming to the downside. There is a supply area. Supply is aggressive selling. Think about it, okay? Demand is aggressive buying. But when we are moving to the downside, we only want to be marking up our higher base chart, number 1, 2, with supply zones, okay? Now, what you need to do, this is the step-by-step strategy and how it works, okay? I must see, and I want to see in this strategy, a breaker structure. We got a low, pull back, and breaking below this low here. That's a breaker structure. And it's a major breaker structure too, okay? This was a major major low right here. So I love to see a major structure being broken, okay? In which I can look for a pullback to a key area supply since we're moving lower. Why? Because major structure breaks hold more weight than minor ones, and they're going to work out better, especially when you have ones that we have a major breaker structure off of your higher base chart. For me, that's my 120 range. Use a higher base chart to put you in the direction that you need to be trading in. That's going to let you know and help you determine the bias or the trend of the market. The trend right now is to the downside here, okay? Broke a major area of low right here, a structure point, okay? Pull back. I'm looking for a a supply zone, which is right here, right? That's my first markup off my 120 range chart. Now from there, I just move down to my lower base chart or whatever lower base chart you use, okay? If you use a 60-minute as your higher base chart to help you, form a bias or direction of the market, then mark up that zone there, okay, your supply zone, and then move down to like a 5-minute chart. Now, I'm not saying a 60-minute, 120 range, or a 5-minute and a 24 range chart are comparable in any means. They are not, because time-based charts are calculated different than range-based charts. So please get that right, all right? You're not going to find any 100% equivalence or comparison between time and range-based charts, all right? I trade this because of these type charts because they are just cleaner to the eye to me. Now, once I've identified a beautiful area off my higher base chart, I got the direction right, we got a breaker structure, and we got aggressive selling right here. I mark off that that supply zone. This is a supply zone. Then I just move down to my lower base entry chart, which is my 24 range. Or if I can't find a 24 range supply zone resting on the inside of the larger 120, then I may use like a 60 range chart. Okay, in this case here, we have confluence on a 60 range right here, and this is the zone right here on the 60. So I would personally, I would take the trade off the 60 unless I want to try to get into more of a smaller, precise entry point, or look for maybe a better entry point, maybe waiting for something more to happen, like on the 24 range. But typically, if I can't find anything on like a 120, so this is actually the setup started off the 120. We got that supply zone resting right there. But when I go down to my 24, there is not a high probability 24 range supply zone resting on the inside of the 120. So I just moved down to my 6, or move up one to my 60 range chart, and there was one there. So I would get in the trade here on the break and close, aggressively here at 18,834, or wait for the actual break and close of the last bullish candle here. So below this wick of the bullish candle here at 18,830, maybe somewhere around 821, 822, and go short that way from there. So that's, but normally what I do is I'll wait. I will not wait, but I'll look to see if there's something on the inside, maybe on the 24 range. In this case here, there wasn't, all right? So let's move on to another setup, and I'll show you. All right, and so then the market pushes to the downside, pulls back. We have another breaker structure right here, below the low right here. And as you can see here, as the market pulled back, there was a 120 range supply zone resting right here. It did slightly wick off of it, but if you move down to your lower base charts, let's go down to let's see here. That would be right at 612. Make sure we're in the right area. 612 would be right here. Yeah, there is a 60 range supply zone resting right there. And there's one further up that it actually tests at right here. There's another one right here with like a 1 to 2 tick gap. Let's see. Yeah, you can see it right here. Very small imbalance resting right there. And you have to be careful with things like this, because if you have multiple zones, you know, following the structural break, in this case here to the downside, there's a supply zone here. There's one resting right here. Typically, you want to wait for the market to pull or retrace back to the where the zone is up, you know, within the upper leg of the swing. So this is the leg right here. So we'll wait for the market to retrace back to an area at the upper zone. Okay. You know, here, yeah, it can reject here. It is slightly here, but you got to always think too, okay, they can reject here and want to push higher. So they'll fake you out here and then they'll go up here and test the zone higher up. That's what they do sometimes. In this case here, they did. But one thing for sure is that when they did push up to the upside there, if you see here, that zone right here on the 120 was already tested. But if you go down to the 60, you can still find opportunity where there are zones that actually, like right here, this is a structure break on the 120, right? 120 range. Here, you know, breaking down on the 60, but there's a valid 60 range supply zone still resting there. And if we move down, we can mark it up on our 60 range. Then we move down to like the 24 range, and you can see, all right, there's a valid 24 range supply zone resting on the inside of the 60 range. So we have structure break on the 120. We have a supply zone resting on the 60 and a supply zone resting on the 24 range chart. Both of them being high probability zones with imbalances resting at them. You know, again, you look for the rejection, go short. All right, in today's trading session, I'm going to show you an example right quick. Let's, you know, you see the market where it's making these, coming to the downside, making lower lows and lower highs before pushing back to the upside. So then we have a major low resting right here. There's a major high resting right here. And then the market makes lows, lower highs, come back down. Okay. So now we're in between like a major low and a major high resting right here. And then the market starts pushing back to the upside. So this puts us into like a wedge situation. So this is what a wedge will look like right here. We're in between a high, major high, and a major low. So then the market does what? Makes highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, you know, showing, breaking structure back to the upside, leaving behind, well, I should say, creating this demand area right here. This is an area of demand right here, okay, off this swing, okay? So then I will be looking for an opportunity to take a trade going back long, because the market just broke structure back to the upside. There's demand off this push to the upside here. So if I go down to like my lower base chart, not my lower base chart, the 60 range, I'm starting to scale down now to find an opportunity to go long. So if I look at the 60 range, okay, now we broke structure on the 60 range back to the upside as well. And on the 60, I have a few high probability zones. Not here, because that's low probability, because there's not an imbalance resting back at this zone. But here there is, okay? So this is a high probability demand zone, okay? So number one, we got to break a structure on the, the 120 range, okay? Then I'll move down and say, okay, breaking structure higher. The market is in a wedge, but right now we're kind of slightly bullish back to the upside, because now we're breaking minor structure back to the upside. But when the market pulls back to some, you know, areas of demand right here, I'll move down and start looking for areas where there are clean imbalances on the 60 range chart, right? So on the 60 range, there was a demand zone resting right here. It taps it on the 60 range, but I still want to be able to kind of redefine and move down even lower. When I do that on my let's move down right here, move down to the 24 range, the entry chart, it doesn't tap this zone here, okay? It doesn't tap it before it breaks structure right here back to the upside, all right? So this would be already a tested zone, because you can see what it does here. It comes down, tests the zone, pushes up, breaks above structure before coming back down and testing the zone again. So the zone's already tested, but there's another zone resting right below it. Another high probability demand zone. Again, we got to break a structure here on the 60 range, okay? Creating a beautiful area of demand. Two of them pretty much. One here, one here. This was already tested when it came here. There's one here. So when the market comes down and taps the ladder, okay, zone, I'm going to go down to my 24 range. Taps it right here on the 60 range. Now, it comes on down here, and it feels the imbalance or gap resting right here at the 24 range demand zone. All right, right there. And let's put that in yellow. Okay. All right, put it on all charts. Now, again, we see what the market is breaking structure higher, creating demand on the 120. All right, at this point, I'm going to move down to just scale down approach using my 60. All right, this would have been demand zone. I see that there because we got a break of structure here on the 60 as well. But there's also one below it. Remember what I said about having, zones within a leg, and there'd be like, say, there's a zone here, here, here. Someone, look for the latter zone for the market to come down and fill, because if they're pulling back to a key area of demand, in this case here, then they're more likely want to come and tap the zone where the movement started at. Okay, right here where the market pushed higher. So they came down there, they tapped the 60 range demand zone, high probability because there's an imbalance or gap resting back to the zone. As well, move down to the 24. So we're looking for it. Okay, it taps the 60 range. Looking for it to tap the zone within the zone, which is the 24 range on the inside of the 60 range zone here. Now, in this case here, this wasn't one of those setups where we have like a 120 range demand zone and then trying to find a 24 range, my entry chart, zone like off the 24 range. No, this case here, but we do have where the market is breaking structure higher, and we do have where it created a demand area on the 120. Well, in this case here, we can move down even lower to find an opportunity off the 60 and the 24. There was a 60 range demand zone, a 24 range demand zone. I moved down to the 24 range once it taps both zones, and once we get the rejection, I can get in here aggressive, say here at 19,042 or 43, or get in and wait for the break and close of the candle at 19,048 and take it back to the upside to feel what? Feel some of the gaps going back to the upside. We look here at the higher, or look at the 60 range. Feel some gaps going back up. We have gaps here. It's already filled these gaps here. So more than likely feel these gaps coming back to the upside right here. If we move back to this 120, we can see definitely maybe back up here to around right here at 19,092 area. Okay, and if we go back down, it's probably going to kind of, once it gets around that 92, somewhere in that area right there, it kind of rejected. But this is a very good strategy to actually use. Just using multi-chart confluence where we're identifying zones within a zone. We're basically using a scale down approach to get us into more of a precise entry point or more better entry. But it all surrounds supply and demand and getting the direction of the market correct first. Now, I go over this type of strategy or this strategy in detail and covering trade breakdowns. And what is that? Trade breakdowns are where I go through as if like you're sitting right next to me, and I'm walking you through setup after setup after setup over a series of many videos. So the trades that I take and I post over in our Discord community, and anyone that's interested in joining the Discord, the link is down in the link is down in the description portion of the video. It's free to join. The second link is titled Elite Channel Supporter or Elite Channel Member. If you click on that, it's going to be 2 tiers that pop up. Choose the one for $6.99. Okay, that's a month. That basically breaks down to be 24 to 25 cents a day. What you're getting are all the trade breakdown videos where I walk you through setup after setup in discussion of trades that I've taken and I posted over in the Discord, so that you can look for and understand in reference to when I cover the market structure pieces within those videos, where to place your stop loss, where to place your profit target. I'm walking you through these setups so you can take setups like this yourself. But I can't guarantee anything because everybody sees things differently sometimes. But I try my best to break things down as simple as possible so that you can understand not only the strategy, but why I took those trades. Again, there are tons of those videos, trade breakdown videos on there. Plus, you get the video playlist, and along with that, you get the great video for anyone struggling with market structure. Again, it's only $6.99 a month. The link is in the description. Outside of that, guys, that's all I have for you today. I appreciate each and every one of you tuning in and watching today's video content here. If you're not a current subscriber, please take the time to go ahead and subscribe by clicking on the sub button down below, and make sure to turn on your post notifications by clicking the bell as soon as you click the subscribe button. All right. Outside of that, if you found value in today's video content, please do me the biggest favor and click on that like button, that thumbs up button. Thank you. Okay. Well, we got a couple more days this week. I believe Friday may be an early close, but outside of that, I really wish everyone a safe trading week the rest of the week. Take care.